What's up, anglers? Welcome back to episode 3 of the Ames Angle podcast. I'm Henry Annan, the assistant sports editor here at the Iowa State Daily.
I'm Aleigha Bailey. I'm the sports editor.
This week's rundown, we have men's and women's basketball recaps. Sports reporter Dom Tornabane joining us to talk about some men's basketball. We'll have our threads of the week. Our angle of the week will be a feature on Iowa State University club sports. We'll have our tweet of the week, and then we'll cut the episode. Dom, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you wanted to come in and talk about the Houston game in particular, right? It just happened. Massive event at Hilton. Some people are calling it the biggest event ever at Hilton Coliseum, the best crowd. Iowa State got out of there with a 3-point win, 70-67. And what were your original thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I really wanted to just kind of talk about just the performance of Iowa State. I mean, they have very distributed scoring. That was something that kind of differed from Houston with Kingston Flemings. He had 22 points. Emmanuel Sharp had 16. But Iowa State had very down-the-line scoring. So Joshua Jefferson was actually the leader in scoring for Iowa State with only 12 points. Nate Heisey contributed 11, and Blake Buchanan ended with just 10. So there were several guys with like 6 to 8 points, like guys like Milan, guys like Taman Lipsey, Toure. So that was really impressive. But the biggest thing that I noticed, especially with Iowa State's offense, was they actually broke a program record only having 3 turnovers in a high-pace Division I college basketball game. That's incredible, let alone any other level of college basketball or high school basketball. 3 turnovers in a game is insane. And I wanted to highlight this, especially facing a team of Houston. Their defense is literally nicknamed the Monster, and they force the most turnovers in the Big 12. And a lot of this comes from their ball screen covers. They're sending 2 at the ball handler every single time. And what Iowa State did and mastered to perfection was just hitting pocket passes, hitting slips, and that opened up the entire floor, because when you hit a guy like a big guy on a roll really quickly, you now have a 2-on-1, 3-on-2 situation where you can hit a baseline cutter or a wide open shooter in the corner. And because of that, Iowa State shot better. They got better quality looks than Houston did. Even though it was a very slow half-court type of game, Iowa State shot better from the field, I believe, by 9%, and they also made more threes. I think Iowa State shot 40% from 3 to Houston's 35%. And then another thing I also just wanted to cover was Houston got control of the game in the second half. It was tight pretty much the whole game, kind of minusing the fact that Iowa State started off 15-5, up 15-5. Houston was up 63-53 with 7:09 left in the game. And then Iowa State went on a huge run, 17-4 run to close the game, winning it 70-67. Now, with this, these are all positives that come from the game, but there are a couple things that stood out from Iowa State's performance that I think they just need to tighten up potentially, and that from a fan's perspective, I saw that is going to be really important for winning these type of big games, especially coming up with them playing BYU, Arizona, teams like that. The biggest thing I think I saw was free throw shooting. Iowa State shot 11 of 22 from the free throw line. That's 50%. And I was actually just looking today. They are now statistically the worst team free throw shooting in the Big 12, sitting at just under, 66% from the free throw line, which games in March, it's not going to cut it, especially in those pressure situations. I would say that Iowa State executed a lot of other areas of their offense and defense really well last game, but so many missed free throws, so many missed points on the board. If they can continue, if they can up that, even to 70% a game, that's going to take them a far way.
Yeah, the Division I average for shooting free throws is 72%.
Right.
Ken Pond.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State shooting 6 points below that at 66.
Yeah.
That's 11 points you leave on the board.
Exactly.
And what my mom always said is you got to make your free throws. Those are the free ones. Those
free
are the ones
money.
you're going to give it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And on the women's side of things, Jada Williams had a big free throw performance over the weekend. Those are free points that they're missing out of. And they're lucky it really hasn't cost them a game yet. Mm-hmm. Now, you touched on a few things. The shooting. When you think of shooting, you think of Milan Momcilovic, junior forward, the greatest shooter in college basketball at the moment. Dom actually wrote a story about it. Just check that out on the Iowa State Daily website.
Mm-hmm.
But Momcilovic shot 2 of 5 from 3. Now, to anyone else in the country, that's an okay performance. It's very average.
Yeah.
Now, as a fan and a sports reporter, do you look at that as a bad Momcilovic night?
Honestly, it's tough because, you come in with the expectation Houston is the number 2 team in the country. I would say arguably, in my opinion, they are considerably maybe the best defense in college basketball. So I knew coming in it was going to be a tough night for Milan, and with them just being as physical with him as they can. That's what you kind of have to do with someone of that shooting ability. You have to be physical with them and honestly just switch a lot of the actions where he's coming off screens. And honestly, over closing out on him is not a great idea, but it honestly would be better than him like getting a wide open shot as opposed to making him actually put the ball on the floor and try and make a play around the rim or make a play for his teammates. So I wouldn't consider it to be a bad game because the thing is, like, yes, he only made 2 threes, but he only took 5. He shot efficiently. 40% is not bad. Obviously, for Milan, that's not a great shooting night, but I wouldn't consider it a bad night. I would say on a scale of, like, horrible shooting day, really good shooting day, I'd have to say he was kind of in the middle. A little bit below average, but yeah.
You touched on passing, too.
Mm-hmm.
And the key play of the night was Nate Heisey's corner 3.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you that haven't seen it, I recommend you go see it. Just Google it. Nate Heisey, 3-point go-ahead to put Iowa State over Houston. Just watch it. And the way that play developed was a full team effort. Like you see, like most people say, oh, the pass came from Jefferson right in Heisey's shooting pocket. He puts it up right at the end of the shot clock, and it goes in. There was a lot more to that play. Now, originally, Taman Lipsey got the ball from Blake Buchanan. Buchanan sets him a screen. Buchanan slips that screen and keeps Heisey's defender in the paint. Flemings was the defender on that. Half step too slow. Lipsey gets the ball to Jefferson. Jefferson finds Heisey in the corner, and the 3 goes up. Heisey's defender, Flemings, a half step too late, and Heisey gets the shot. It's kind of nuts. And you said it, Jefferson had 5 assists, but I just curious what your thoughts were on that final play watching the game.
Yeah, you summed it up really well. That's the thing. Like, we, as fans, we tend to see, like, the final shot, and that's what we remember. We remember the shot that Heisey made, and maybe sometimes we'll even remember the pass. But even that alone in itself, people, a lot of the times, they don't even remember the pass that was made. And that's what was so important is, especially in college basketball, defenses tend to break down when there's more action and when it's later in the shot clock. So in that situation with Lipsey coming off a screen and Buchanan rolling hard to the rim, drawing a defender in, it allows a hard pass to make, but something when you watch Iowa State, when you watch like some of the top college basketball teams in the country, that pass is almost like elementary to them. And Jefferson made a great read, and Heisey has a quick release naturally. Like, he has a very quick shot. But that was insane. Like, he didn't even dip the ball a lot of the time in basketball. With shooting mechanics, we talk about like dipping the ball to where it's like comfortable for you. And he naturally doesn't really have much of a dip on his shot, but he caught it and shot that so fast that Flemings honestly made it there in a decent amount of time. He was late because he was coming all the way over from basically the restricted area. But yeah, like, the whole play was orchestrated, and that is the reason that Jefferson was even able to make that pass and for Heisey to even make the shot. So it was absolutely a whole team effort, whole play effort. So, yeah.
Iowa State escapes a massive weekend with 2 top 10 wins over Kansas and Houston, and will enjoy a good half week off of rest. And before they travel out to Utah, first to face number 23 BYU at 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, and then travel to the University of Utah on Tuesday for an 8 p.m. start. Dom, it's now time for our threads of the week. Dom, what do you got this week for us?
Yeah, so I got a little Allen Iverson jersey. I got this a while ago, but honestly, Allen Iverson being an undersized shooting guard, being an undersized guard in general, was always my inspiration growing up. I loved playing basketball, and obviously I was always undersized, so I took to him for inspiration. And also, I can tie it back to Iowa State. I watched like Taman Lipsey. Like, he's probably the shortest person on the floor at all times, being around 6 foot. But like, his motor and his ability, his IQ of the game, his athletic ability, his ability to shoot, that's impressive. But like, his hustle too. And that's what I see is, like, with smaller guards, that's something that you need to have. And if you have that, you can stick out and actually get rotational minutes. And we saw it last night when I believe it was Blake Buchanan. He missed the free throw with about 3 or 4 seconds left. Taman went in and got the offensive rebound. And Houston's a pretty big team. And they just didn't box him out, and he used his vertical, but he's also small. In that situation, statistically, he shouldn't get that rebound over a 6'8" guy. But he went in there, grabbed it, and he saved the game by taking off the clock and then allowing Jefferson to get to the line and make a free throw. So, yeah, I took that, but yeah, ended up getting the shirt in Florida, and I thought it was really cool. And it was Allen Iverson's definitely been an inspiration on the basketball court for me. So, yeah.
Dom, thanks for joining us. Now it's time for our Ames Angle of the Week, talking about the Iowa State University club sports.
A developing series at the Iowa State Daily is the Under the Radar series, where different reporters go through and cover all the different club sports at Iowa State. Aside from the Under the Radar series, I personally cover the men's hockey team here at Iowa State, but somebody who's a little more familiar with the Under the Radar series is Henry.
The Under the Radar series is an opportunity that we get here at the Iowa State Daily to share the stories of these other clubs and teams here on campus that don't necessarily get all the press from the other outside outlets. And like Aleigha said, we've done a bunch of clubs so far, and we're working on it. We want to give every club its chance to share their story with us on our platform. And the first one that we did was the Table Tennis Club. Now, the Table Tennis Club, they compete. It's not just like here, go play with us. No, this team competes. And I talked to the club president, Josh Wu, who's a junior majoring in kinesiology and health. And he told me that the team has had individuals place highly at nationals in the past, and they're always looking for new members. Now, they compete under the National Collegiate Table Tennis Association, or NCTTA, so you can always go to that website and take a look at more details. And they, like I said, they're always looking for new people to join these clubs. All of these clubs are. And they recently just headed to their regional competition where they have a member advance at the University of Iowa. So these guys are traveling around, and they said that while they only have one team right now, they've had women's teams in the past, and they've had B teams too. So you can always go give it a shot at the Table Tennis Club. Now, this is a collaborative effort between the sports desk, Student Life, and some other reporters. So we're really open to including every club, and another club that's been done is the Pickleball Club, article by Levi Foster, focused on them. Their mission is to allow students an accessible way to break a sweat and connect with one another. And now pickleball is a game that I love playing. It's the perfect mix of athleticism and just having a good time with some friends. And it looks like the club just gets together and has some fun. 3 times a week, rotating between different buildings around campus, inside in the colder months and outside in the warmer months. And it just looks like a whole lot of fun. Another club that we were able to report on was the Martial Arts Club. Now, this club is a little bit different because not everyone has had the opportunity to participate in martial arts. And the Martial Arts Club has actually been around on the Iowa State campus for over 53 years. And talking with some people who are black belts and then some people that have never done anything, it's a great mix. And one of our reporters, Dory Holmes, did a great job on the story. You can check it out on the Iowa State Daily website. And these clubs are something that everyone can participate in. And that's the big story here. Not everyone can be a Division I athlete. Some people can. That's great. We can watch them on TV and do all that thing. But club sports here at Iowa State give everyone the opportunity to participate, and that's the message we're trying to share. Will you?
Just kind of going back off what Henry said about the club sports and how historic these programs are becoming, just on the side of the men's hockey club, dating back to the 1966-1967, is the first season that the team was established, and since then the team have been able to win a lot of games and be a nationally recognized team in the sense of club hockey. And this year the team has been able to rebound from their suspension in the 2022-2023 season, and now they're getting their first taste of playoffs following the stretch of rebuilding. And with that, just the opportunity of having a club sport, it gives these athletes a chance to continue the love of the sports or the things that they've loved that they don't necessarily get to do because they're not necessarily D1 athletes. And at Iowa State, these players have gone from anywhere from 16 years to 20 years of their life playing and still committing to this. So just being able to continue to have that platform to do what these players love creates stories that people don't necessarily know, but it's also something cool that they can eventually look into. And then going off of that, one of the defensemen at Iowa State, he's a freshman now, Greg Harley, his brother, Thomas Harley, who is a defenseman for the Dallas Stars, got his ticket to play in the Olympics for Team Canada on the hockey team. And similar to Harley, Iowa State's very own Nate Heisey, his sister, is also competing in the Olympics for Team USA women's hockey. And the same night that Nate drilled his three-point shot, Taylor found her opportunity to score a goal in the semifinals to send Team USA to the World Champions.
Yeah, and club sports at Iowa State have a deep tradition, and they're very important to everyone. If you are the president of mainly an athletic club sport or a member or just any club here on campus in general, please feel free. We encourage you actually to reach out to the Iowa State Daily for a chance to share your story on our platform. Now it is time for our tweet of the week. This week's tweet comes from men's college basketball social media influencer Ryan Hammer, who just spent a great weekend in Ames seeing 2 Iowa State victories over top 10 opponents in Kansas and Houston. And tweets up on the screen. He wanted to thank Ames. An awesome place. He was a great guy. I got to talk to him before the Houston game, and he says that it's one of the best 3-day stretches in Ames history this week. And he kind of hinted at an Iowa State Final Four run. Now, Ryan, this is your official invitation to come join us here on the Ames Angle. We've reached out. We appreciated your time here and talking with us, but come on our show. We'll have a great time.
Like, comment, subscribe for more at the Ames Angle.
And
cut.